Hi, I am back. Welcome back to my Flosstube channel. I'm Allie, the show and tell stitcher, and let's just get right into it. I'll be honest, I am re-recording this. My first one was way too long and my computer could not handle it. So, I have no finishes, no fully finished objects. I don't know whose channel you thought you were coming to, but I don't have those very frequently. So first off, my works in progress. So on Woodland Enchantress, which I started the night before my last video, is a Dimensions Gold project on 16 count gray Ada. And it is, okay, so I've done 2,912 stitches, almost all of those being half stitches. And let's see, multimedia presentation for y'all. Here's where I was last time. I had just barely started it. And I did a top left corner start. And here it is now. So I did decide to stop differentiating between whole and half stitches in my counting because I'm more interested in knowing my percentage complete. And the only way I can really do that for these paper pattern projects, there's a tongue twister, is to just count the number of spaces covered versus empty. And if I'm accounting for half stitches, it's just not gonna work out nicely. So I'm 7.28% done with this project. My monthly goal is 3,584 stitches a month. That would bring me to a page finish every season for these seasonal Dimension Fairy ladies that I am going to make my little mini focus this year. So that's, well, next month, my goal, no, I'm trying to rush through this. We'll talk plans later. Next up, I did Aurora Cabin, another Dimensions Gold kit on 16 count gray Ada with various numbers of strands in the stitches, anywhere from 1 to 6 strands. So I did 515 stitches. I don't have a before picture because I think the only other time I've shown this on my channel is during my first video was my whip parade. And let's see, so I did 515 stitches. Probably all of those were half stitches. And here we are. Last time I showed this, the only other time I've showed this, I was a little bit upset about specifically how much this corner is pulling, but I think it's just gonna kind of work itself out as I progress. And yeah, when I was working on it, I pretty much worked up here, filling in some of the sky. And my tension is getting better than when I started this, so it's kind of righting itself. So I don't need to be upset about that. Next up is Contessa with Squid, my so-called focus of the year. Newsflash, plans change early in the year, even sometimes. So this is what Contessa with Squid will look like when it is finished. Original artwork is by Omar Ryan. This chart was done by Heaven and Earth Designs. There are 367,500 stitches in this, and this is where she was in my last video about 5 weeks ago. And I am happy to report that I got a page finish. Okay, well, so I should have brought my whiteboard. Oh my goodness. So, excuse me while I fold this up. Okay, there's a lot more hanging threads. I said I was gonna work all those in, but I'm doing my own little version of parking now. So I finished this page and I started in on this page. I decided I'm gonna work diagonal pages so that I don't have to do all this top background before I get to the more interesting stuff, because it's just so hard to work, even though there's, you know, several colors in the background, like maybe even like 5 background colors. It's just a lot to work through this dark, boring bits. And I am really loving these, getting to these suction cups on the tentacles. And when I work on this, I think of this story that my mom told me from when she was volunteering at my brother's preschool one day. She was reading a book to the preschoolers about sea creatures. And she said, okay, and what do octopus have on their legs? And one of the kids yelled, lollipops, because everybody had been calling these suckers. So I think about that all the time when I'm stitching this. So my goal for this month was to complete 2 pages. That ain't happening in the next, what, 2 days left in this month? No way, that's too much. But I'm proud of myself for getting a page finish. Now I have 4, technically I have one of the pages at the bottom, which is way smaller, finished too, but okay, 5 pages finished then. And yeah, I'm gonna try to work down here this month. Yeah, I'm enjoying this project a lot more. This is the only project that I work in a hoop. It's 1/1 full crosses on 25 count easy grid Lugana. And you know, you gotta be in the mood for that kind of stitching. So I did 9,038 stitches this month. Well, yeah, this month actually, on that. And my whip go goal was 2 pages. But I'm gonna amend that goal. I'll talk about it in a bit. Finally, I worked on Winter Queen by Shannon Christine Designs. This is the computer rendering. Oh gosh, you're gonna be seeing right through that paper, aren't you? Yeah. There. I hope that was better. So, well, I guess I'll do that for this too, because I forgot my handy dandy whiteboard and chip clips. So I worked, gosh, I don't have a before picture for this one either. Oops, well, the last time I showed this was also in my whip parade. So I worked down in the bottom of her dress on these white, so like DMC B5200 or Blanc, I'm not sure which one. I think B5200, that really bright white. And then there's like off-white, and then there's this blue that just looks so dingy next to the other whites. So I'm just trying to get through that, and you know, you can see, so she's 2/2 on 28 count light blue even weave, not sure of the brand, sorry. Except you will notice some of her, well, I mean, her skin is 1/1 on 28 count, and I am loving that effect. I'm glad that when I was so new to cross stitching, when I started this, I just dove right in, inspired by other floss tubers who are doing mirabilias with 1/1 skin. And yeah, I'm loving it. There's beading, back stitch. Yeah, I'm liking this one. I did 671 stitches on this since I saw you last. Yeah, so next up, my plans. So I made a Whitgo board. I made one last year and didn't abide by it at all. Abandoned it in January. And yeah, you may notice a pattern. I have my Whitgo board here. You can see it if you want. I don't know. I don't know if you even. But so I've got 12 pages of Contessa with Squid on there. And if I were to stay on that track, I would finish this in about 3 years, maybe 3.5. That's great, but that's just too much. I want to do more things in my life than stitch on Contessa with Squid. So I'm going to amend that goal to be 12 half-page finishes, which would be about 4,000 stitches, because, you know, I knew this was going to happen, but so my January whip go numbers that were called were both, so 2 full pages of Contessa with Squid. Okay, I didn't get that done. And then February, both my whip go goals are another page with Contessa with Squid. So in order to be caught up on my whip go, which I don't have to be, but you know, it would be nice to actually complete goals in a timely fashion. I would have to have 4 full pages of Contessa with Squid done by the end of February, which that just ain't happening. So I'm gonna change it, like I said, and I considered even just changing every square on my whip go board to say stitch on whatever you want, and then I would just be I would get a blackout for sure this year. But you know, I was like, that's not really in the spirit of whip go. All my other goals I'm going to leave as they are because they're just 5 days on various other projects, and I can do that. Let's see. So this coming month, I want to complete 1 more page of Contessa with Squid, because then I would have 4 half pages done total, and I would be up to date on my whip go board with my amended goals. I want to stitch, so for my Woodland Enchantress, I want to do 1 page by the time I switch to my spring seasonal fairy, and that would require me to do 3,584 stitches each of the 3 months that I'm working on it, January, February, and then until March 20th. So I didn't quite do that many stitches on it this month, so I'm gonna plan on doing 672 makeup stitches and then do my 3,584 stitches, which would amount to 4,256 stitches total. But keep in mind, almost all of those are gonna be half stitches because I'm still in the background. And then if I'm able to keep up with that for all of my fairies this year, and if I keep doing it this way, then I'll have all 4 of them done in the next 4 years, okay? But that's a better rate than I've been working on them. Fall Fairy has been a work in progress for over 2 years, I think, maybe 1.5 years. But this way, I'm actually making plans to get her done. And those seasonal Dimensions fairies are all on my whip go board too. But I have 4 spaces for 5 days each on whatever seasonal fairy is in season when those numbers are called. And I mean, in a perfect world, it would work out so that I get one of those numbers. I get 1 per season, but I know that's not how it's gonna be. But that would be cool if it worked out. So, let's see. Okay, now, what should I start? I decided when I first started cross-stitching, and for like the first year that I was cross-stitching, I just started whatever I wanted whenever I wanted. That's fine, that brought me a lot of joy. But then last year I only did 2 starts. And okay, I had, I think, 3 or 4 finishes total in the whole year. So I was like, okay, you know what? Just do some starts. Like, it'll make you happy, it'll be fun. Like, I feel like I'm like facing my own mortality when I'm like looking at all my whips and like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna get through these in my lifetime. And that makes me sad. So I'm gonna at least pull them out and start them all in my lifetime. So why not just start now? So I decided I would give myself 1 free start per month. So I already decided what I think I would like to start for my January start, you know, getting it started late in the month, but I just, as soon as I got this project off of eBay, I put it right in a project bag because I really wanted to start it. And it is Dragonfly Pond by Dimensions Gold. It's so beautiful. It's on 14 count navy Aida, and there's metallic thread and blending filament. Probably blending filament is in the wings, huh? But the metallic thread is all of these outlines in between pretty much what looks like the stained glass window panes. So I just think that's going to be pretty. I don't think it's going to, who knows, but I don't think it's going to take me as long as like a regular Dimensions Gold kit, because it appears to be more blocky stitching. But, I mean, who knows? I'll let y'all know. And then I want y'all to vote on my February start. So, first up, we've got Twilight Angel. Oh, newsflash, these are all Dimensions Gold kits because I love them. So, this is one of 2 gold petites that I own. This is Twilight Angel. She's really cute. She's on 16 count gray Aida, and she has all kinds of pretty little treasures, and she has some gold metallic, and I think I could realistically finish her this year, if not the month that I start her, so that's very appealing and makes me want to start her, and she's just so cute. So Twilight Angel, if you want me to start her. Next up is, oh, something loud just happened outside. Next up is the Finery of Nature, another Dimensions Gold kit, which is on 14 count black Aida. This is the only Dimensions kit that I've seen that looks like a sampler to me. I don't know what makes something a sampler, but this one looks like a sampler to me. And I knew I had to have it after I saw Cross Stitch with Luda finish this. So, the Finery of Nature. Comment that, vote for that if you want me to start that in February. The final one is kind of a wild card, but it is called, it's another Dimensions kit. It's called Winter Retreat, and it is stitched on 18 count beige Aida. And this one is kind of random. I don't see this one stitched, but I just keep thinking about it. I can't get it out of my mind, especially just this background, this like sepia toned. It's just so striking to me. I think about it all the time when I'm walking my dog and I see geese. The only bad thing is the lady that I got this from on eBay, she started it. Okay, great. Luckily, our stitches go the same direction. Great. But she gridded it with regular floss, and I really hope that this is not a color like from the kit. I don't see any purple in there, so hopefully she didn't like waste kit floss doing this. But I really would have to pull all this out, which is a shame because she really did a good job. But I wouldn't be able to pull it out after because it's regular floss instead of like sulky sliver or whatever. So my needle and thread would pierce this and it would get stuck. And I was like, well, maybe, no, you can see the purple right through this background. So I would have to pull it all out, but I don't think it would take me as long to do that as it did for her to grid it and, you know, whatever. So if you want to see me start that one, it would be Winter Retreat that you would comment down below. And yeah, I would love for y'all to pick my February whip by voting in the comments. And I mean, you know, whichever ones like don't win, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna like start them the next times that it's time for a start. These are just what I was kind of thinking for this coming month. Let's see. Yeah, so just let me know. And then finally, I just want to say hi to Darcy. You guys know him, you'll love him, Stitchman Darcy. We connected because of Chris Cross Stitch, the Flosstuber. I saw in Darcy's most recent video him talking about hashtag Chris it up, just like getting happiness from your activities and just being a positive person this year. And that led me to watching Chris cross stitch, and then Darcy reached out to me because of a comment, blah, blah, blah. So you can thank him for me coming back in a timely fashion to YouTube and not waiting 6 months. So, oh, okay, speaking of hashtags, if you are stitching Contessa with squid, which I know some of you are, or I guess anything with a squid or octopus, you can use my hashtag that I made. It is hashtag Squid Squad X Stitch. All one word, obviously, because it's a hashtag on Instagram. I made that because Squid Squad was taken. And my last Instagram post is the only post using that hashtag. So if you use that hashtag, I would be delighted to see your progress. And with that, I must bid you adieu. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you for picking my next whip, hopefully. And I'll talk to y'all soon. I'll try to be back at the end of February. Okay, bye.